What if I told you that the traditional calendar year is sabotaging your success? Think about it. Every January, you set goals with massive excitement, but by March, that fire is gone. By June, you have forgotten half of them, and by December, you're scrambling, making excuses, promising yourself next year will be different. But it never is. Here's the brutal truth. The problem is not your discipline. The problem is not your work ethic. The problem is the system itself. 12 months is too long. It creates a false sense of time. It breeds procrastination. It kills urgency. But what if you could compress an entire year into just 12 weeks? What if you could create more progress in 3 months than most people create in 12? That is exactly what we're about to unpack. This is not theory. This is a proven execution system used by top performers across the world. And by the end of this video, you will have a complete roadmap to transform your productivity, your focus, and your results. Let us begin. Before we dive deep, if you are serious about implementation, about actually changing your life and not just consuming content, then follow Millionaire Playbook right now. This channel is built for action takers, people who do not just watch, but execute. Hit that follow button, because what you're about to learn will only work if you commit to applying it. Let's go. Part 1. Why the traditional year is broken. Let me ask you a personal question. Have you ever felt like you are capable of so much more, but something keeps holding you back? You know you have potential. You know you can achieve bigger things, but the gap between knowing and doing feels impossible to close. That gap has a name. It's called the knowing-doing gap, and the 12-week year is designed to destroy it. Here's what most people don't understand. The traditional annual goal-setting system is rigged against you. When you set a goal in January for December, your brain doesn't register urgency. You have 12 months. That feels like forever. So what happens? You delay. You procrastinate. You tell yourself you'll start next week, next month, next quarter. And suddenly it's November and you're in panic mode, trying to salvage the year. Moran, the creator of the 12-week year system, discovered something powerful while studying high performers. He noticed that athletes don't train in 12-month cycles. They use a concept called periodization. This means they focus intensely on specific skills over short, defined periods. They create urgency. They measure progress weekly. They adjust quickly. And that's exactly what the 12-week year does for your life and business. Instead of thinking in 12 months, you redefine your year to be 12 weeks long. That's it. 3 months becomes your new year. And here's what happens. Suddenly, every single week matters. You can't afford to waste time. Week 1 is not just the beginning, it's already 8% of your entire year. This creates a psychological shift. Urgency replaces complacency, focus replaces distraction, execution replaces procrastination. But this system is not just about speed. It's built on 3 foundational principles that separate high achievers from everyone else. Let me break them down. Principle 1. Accountability. Accountability is not about blame, it's about ownership. It's the willingness to own your actions and your results, no matter what. Most people operate with victim mentality. They blame circumstances, other people, the economy, bad luck. But high performers ask a different question. They ask, what more can I do? What is within my control? How can I move forward regardless of obstacles? Accountability is rooted in freedom. You have the freedom to choose your actions, and because you have that freedom, you also have responsibility for the outcomes. This is not motivational fluff. This is a mindset shift that changes everything. When you own your results, you stop making excuses. You start finding solutions. Principle 2. Commitment. Commitment is a promise you make to yourself about future actions. It's your word to yourself. And here's the hard truth. Most people don't keep their word to themselves. They break self-promises constantly. They say they will wake up early, then hit snooze. They say they will eat healthy, then binge at night. They say they will work on their business, then scroll social media for hours. Every broken promise damages your self-respect. Every kept promise builds integrity. The 12-week year trains you to make commitments you can actually keep. Not lifetime commitments, not annual commitments, 12-week commitments. This makes it manageable. This makes it real, and as you keep these short-term commitments, you build the muscle of self-trust. You prove to yourself that you are someone who does what they say. Principle 3. Greatness in the moment. This is the most misunderstood principle. Most people think greatness is a destination. They think, once I achieve this goal, then I will be great. But that's backwards. Greatness is not the result. Greatness is the process. You become great the moment you choose the difficult thing, the moment you choose the workout over the couch, the moment you choose the sales call over the distraction, the moment you choose focus over scrolling. Results don't make you great. Results affirm that you were already being great. This shift is everything because it means you don't have to wait to feel successful. You can feel it right now. Every time you execute on your plan, you are being great. Every time you keep a commitment, you are being great. Greatness happens in the moment of choice. Now that you understand the principles, let me show you the 5 disciplines that bring this system to life. Part 2. The 5 execution disciplines. Discipline 1. Vision. Everything starts with vision, not goals, vision. Goals are targets. Vision is the emotional fuel that drives you towards those targets. Let me give you an example. If your goal is to make $100,000 this year, that's just a number. But if your vision is to provide financial security for your family, to never worry about bills again, to take your kids on dream vacations, to build a legacy, now you have emotional power. Your vision should make you uncomfortable. It should stretch you beyond what feels safe, because growth always happens outside your comfort zone. The 12-week year asks you to create multiple layers of vision, a long-term vision for 5 to 15 years, a 3-year vision for both personal and professional life, and even a 12-month vision to bridge the gap. Here's the process. Start with the have, do, be exercise. First, brainstorm everything you want in life, not just material things, experiences, relationships, skills, freedom. Don't filter. Don't ask how. Just imagine. Next, move to do. What actions do you want to take? What do you want to experience doing? Who do you want to become in the process? Finally, move to be. What kind of person do you want to be? What character traits? What reputation? What impact? This exercise opens your mind. It removes limitations. It allows you to dream without constraints. And from this foundation, you create your detailed vision. Write it down, make it specific, make it emotional, and review it daily. Your vision is the compass. Everything else flows from it. Discipline 2. Planning. Once you have your vision, you need a tactical plan. This is where most people fail. They have big dreams, but no structured path. The 12-week year forces you to break your vision into 12-week goals. Not 5 goals, not 10 goals. Ideally, 1 to 3 goals max. Why? Because less is more. Focus beats variety every single time. Your 12-week goals must meet 5 criteria. 1. Specific and measurable. You need to know exactly what success looks like. 2. Positively stated. Focus on what you want, not what you want to avoid. 3. Realistic stretch. It should challenge you, but not be impossible. 4. Complete accountability. You must own it. No one else is responsible. 5. Time-bound. 12 weeks. That's your deadline. Once you have your goals, you create your weekly tactics. These are the specific actions that move you towards each goal. Not a to-do list, not busy work. Critical actions only. The few things that actually matter. For each goal, identify the key activities, then schedule them into your weekly plan. This is your roadmap. This is your execution guide. Discipline 3. Process control. This is where the magic happens. Process control means you have tools and systems that ensure you actually execute your plan. The foundation is your weekly plan. Every single week, you sit down and create a written plan. You pull from your 12-week plan and decide what must happen this week, not what you hope happens, what must happen. This weekly plan becomes your filter. When distractions arise, and they will, you ask, is this on my weekly plan? If not, it doesn't get your attention. This one habit alone will transform your productivity. But it gets better. The system also includes weekly accountability meetings. These are short 15 to 30-minute meetings with a peer or group where you report your results, not your intentions, your actual results. Research shows you are 7 times more likely to stick with your execution when you have weekly peer accountability. Why? Because you know you have to report. You know someone will ask, "Did you do what you said you would do?" This creates healthy pressure. It keeps you honest. It keeps you moving. The system also includes daily huddles. These are 5-minute check-ins where you share what you accomplished yesterday and what you commit to today. If you work with a team, this keeps everyone aligned. If you work alone, you can do this as a personal reflection. The key is daily intentionality. Then there is your 12-week theme. This is a motivating phrase or concept that captures your focus for the cycle. Examples include own it, face your fears, service excellence. Your theme should inspire you emotionally. It should remind you why you are pushing yourself. And finally, celebrations. At the end of every 12 weeks, you celebrate. Whether you hit your goal or not, you celebrate the effort. You celebrate the learning. You celebrate the growth. This reinforces the positive cycle. Discipline 4. Scorekeeping. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Scorekeeping is about tracking your progress weekly. There are 2 types of measures: lead indicators and lag indicators. Lead indicators are the activities that predict success. For example, if your goal is revenue, your lead indicator might be number of sales calls made. Lag indicators are the results: revenue earned, weight lost, clients signed. You need both. Lead measures tell you if you are doing the work. Lag measures tell you if the work is paying off. Every week, you score yourself. Did I complete 80% or more of my planned tactics? If yes, you are on track. If no, you need to recommit or adjust your plan. This weekly scoring creates a feedback loop. You see what is working. You see what is not. You adjust in real time. Here's a critical insight. If you execute at least 80% of your tactics each week for 12 weeks, you will almost always hit your goal. The math works. Consistency wins. But if you are executing and still not hitting your goals, that tells you something else. Your plan might be wrong. Your tactics might need adjustment. This is valuable information. Scorekeeping gives you clarity. Discipline 5. Time use. This is the most tactical discipline. Time use is about intentional time blocking. Most people react to their day. They let emails, meetings, and interruptions control them. High performers design their day. They block time for what matters most. The 12-week year introduces 3 types of time blocks. Strategic blocks. These are uninterrupted 3-hour sessions focused on high-value activities, activities that directly move your 12-week goals forward. You should have at least 1 strategic block per week. Schedule it, protect it, treat it like the most important meeting of your week, because it is. Buffer blocks. These are 30 to 60-minute windows for handling urgent but low-value tasks, emails, phone calls, administrative work. Instead of letting these things interrupt your day constantly, you batch them into buffer blocks. You deal with them all at once. Then you move on. Breakout blocks. These are mini vacations, time to recharge, time away from work completely. No checking email, no thinking about projects, just rest. This is not optional. This is essential. Burnout kills performance. Strategic rest protects it. When you implement these time blocks, your productivity skyrockets. You are no longer busy. You are effective. You are no longer reacting. You are leading. And this is the shift that separates average performers from top performers. Part 3. Building your 12-week plan. Now let me walk you through the exact process of building your first 12-week plan. This is where theory becomes action. First, revisit your vision. What does your ideal life look like in 3 years? In 1 year? Get emotionally connected. Feel it. Write it down in detail. This is your North Star. Next, identify 1 to 3 12-week goals that move you toward that vision. Remember, less is more. Do not try to change everything at once. Pick the areas that will create the biggest impact. For each goal, make sure it is specific, measurable, positively stated, realistic but challenging, fully owned by you, and time-bound to 12 weeks. Now comes the tactical planning. For each goal, ask yourself, what are the few critical actions that will move this forward? Not everything, just the essential activities. Write them out. These become your weekly tactics. A well-structured plan has 2 levels. Level 1 is your 12-week goal. Level 2 is your weekly tactics. Simple, clean, actionable. Here's an example. Let's say your goal is to lose 10 pounds in 12 weeks. Your weekly tactics might include exercise 4 times per week for 45 minutes, meal prep every Sunday, track calories daily, and drink 8 glasses of water daily. Notice these are specific actions, not vague wishes. You can measure them, you can execute them, you can score them. Once your plan is built, transfer your weekly tactics into your weekly plan template. Every Sunday or Monday, you sit down and write out the upcoming week. You look at your 12-week plan, you pull the tactics for this week, you schedule them into your calendar. This becomes your roadmap for the next 7 days. And here's the non-negotiable part. You must review this plan daily, not once a week, daily. Every morning, look at your plan. Ask yourself, what must I accomplish today to stay on track? Every evening, score yourself. Did I do what I said I would do? This daily rhythm creates accountability. It keeps you focused. It prevents drift. Part 4. Making and keeping commitments. Let me talk about commitment on a deeper level. Commitment is not just a concept, it's a tool for personal transformation. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, you build self-respect. Every time you break one, you damage it. This is not about perfection, this is about integrity. The 12-week year makes commitment manageable by shortening the time frame. Instead of committing for a year, you commit for 12 weeks. And instead of committing to everything, you commit to a few key actions. This is realistic. This is achievable. And as you prove to yourself that you can keep 12-week commitments, your confidence grows. You start believing in yourself differently. Here's the process. Identify one breakthrough commitment in each major area of your life: spiritual, relationships, physical health, personal growth, business, family. For each area, define a positive goal statement. Then ask, what is the one action that would make the biggest impact? Not 10 actions, 1, the most powerful one. Now, assess the cost. What will you have to sacrifice to keep this commitment? Time? Comfort? Old habits? Be honest. Count the cost. Then ask yourself, am I willing to pay this price for the next 12 weeks? If yes, circle it. Make it official. If no, don't pretend. Choose a different commitment, one you can actually honor. As you move through your 12 weeks, you will miss commitments sometimes. That's human. The key is how you respond. Don't spiral. Don't give up. Confront the truth. Ask why you missed it. Learn from it. Recommit immediately. Missing 1 week doesn't ruin 12 weeks, but quitting does. The difference between success and failure is often just the decision to keep going after a setback. Part 5. Weekly execution routine. Let me give you the exact weekly routine that makes this system work. This is your execution engine. Every week, follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Score last week. Go through your weekly plan, mark each tactic as complete or incomplete. Calculate your execution percentage. If you hit 80% or higher, celebrate. You are on track. If no, you need to recommit or adjust your plan. This weekly scoring creates a feedback loop. You see what is working. You see what is not. You adjust in real time. Step 2. Create your new weekly plan. Pull from your 12-week plan, decide what must happen this week, write it down, schedule it. Include any incomplete tactics from last week. This is your fresh start. This is your focus. Step 3. Attend your weekly accountability meeting. If you have a peer or group, meet for 15 to 30 minutes. Share your results, share your challenges, share your plan for the upcoming week. If you don't have a group, find one, or create one, or at minimum, find one accountability partner. The research is clear. Peer accountability increases success rates dramatically. This routine takes about 30 to 60 minutes per week. That's it. 30 minutes to plan your week, 30 minutes to meet with your accountability group, and in exchange, you get clarity, focus, and momentum. This is the highest ROI activity you can do. Part 7. Measuring what matters. Scorekeeping deserves deeper attention because most people measure vanity metrics, things that look good but don't drive results. The 12-week year teaches you to focus on lead and lag indicators. Let me explain the difference with a real example. Imagine your goal is to generate $12,000 in new revenue in 12 weeks. That's your lag indicator, the result. But how do you get there? You need lead indicators, activities that predict success. For a salesperson, lead indicators might be number of meetings held, number of proposals sent, number of follow-up calls made. These activities lead to revenue. Every week, you track both. You measure how many meetings you had. You measure how much revenue you closed. If your meetings are low, you know revenue will be low next week. This gives you time to adjust. You can increase your activity before it's too late. This is the power of lead indicators. They give you early warning. They give you control. Here's the formula. If you consistently hit your lead indicators, your lag indicators will follow. If you consistently have 10 quality meetings per week, revenue will come. If you consistently work out 4 times per week, weight loss will come. If you consistently write 1,000 words per day, your book will get finished. The actions predict the outcomes. Track your numbers weekly. Make them visible. Use a whiteboard. Use a spreadsheet. Use a journal. Whatever works, but make it visible. What gets measured gets managed. What gets visible gets done. And at the end of 12 weeks, you will have a complete data set. You will know exactly what worked and what didn't. This becomes your learning for the next cycle. Part 7. Confronting the truth. This is the optional but powerful section of the system. Confronting the truth means looking at your performance honestly every single week. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just facts. Did I execute my plan? Did I hit my targets? If yes, why? If no, why not? Most people avoid this. It is uncomfortable. It forces you to face your failures. It forces you to admit when you are not following through. But here is the reality. Growth requires discomfort. Breakthrough requires honesty. If you want to operate at your full potential, you must be willing to confront the gap between your intentions and your actions. The system provides a weekly worksheet for this. You score your week. You review your lead and lag measures, you identify what is working and what is not, you commit to specific actions for the upcoming week. This takes 10 to 20 minutes, and it creates a level of self-awareness that most people never develop. Here is what happens when you do this consistently. You stop lying to yourself. You stop pretending. You start seeing patterns. You notice that every time you skip your morning routine, your whole week falls apart. You notice that every time you prepare on Sunday, your week flows smoothly. These insights are gold. They allow you to design a life that works for you. Part 8. Practical Implementation Plan. Let me give you a step-by-step action plan to start your first 12-week year today. Do not wait for Monday. Do not wait for next month. Start now. Here's exactly what to do. Step 1. Block 2 hours this week for vision work. Go somewhere quiet, no distractions. Complete the have, do, be exercise. Write your 3-year vision. Write your 12-month vision. Make it detailed. Make it emotional. This is your foundation. Step 2. Identify your 1 to 3 12-week goals. What will move you closest to your vision in the next 3 months? Choose carefully. Less is more. Write them down. Make sure they meet the 5 criteria: specific, measurable, positive, realistic stretch, accountable, time-bound. Step 3. Build your tactical plan. For each goal, identify the critical weekly actions, the few things that matter most. Write them out. This is your roadmap. Step 4. Create your first weekly plan. Look at your 12-week plan. Pull the tactics for this week. Schedule them into your calendar. Commit to them. Step 5. Find an accountability partner or group. Reach out to someone today. Propose a weekly 15-minute check-in call. Commit to showing up. Commit to being honest. Step 6. Start your weekly execution routine. Every week, score last week, plan this week, meet with your accountability partner. Make this non-negotiable. Step 7. Track your lead and lag measures. Set up a simple tracking system. Update it weekly, review it weekly, adjust based on what you see. That's it. 7 steps. You can complete steps 1 through 4 this weekend. You can start executing Monday. This is not complicated. It is simple, but simple does not mean easy. It requires commitment. It requires discipline. It requires you to choose discomfort over comfort. But if you do it, your life will change. Let me bring this all together. The 12-week year is not just a productivity system. It is a complete mindset shift. It teaches you that urgency beats comfort, that focus beats distraction, that execution beats intention. It compresses time to create intensity. It shortens feedback loops to create learning. It structures accountability to create consistency. The 3 principles, accountability, commitment, and greatness in the moment, become your operating system. The 5 disciplines, vision, planning, process control, scorekeeping, and time use, become your daily tools, and the 12-week cycle becomes your rhythm. Every 12 weeks, you get a fresh start, a new opportunity, a clean slate. Here's what I want you to remember. You are capable of far more than you are currently achieving. The gap is not talent. The gap is not intelligence. The gap is execution, and execution is a skill you can learn. The 12-week year gives you the structure, but you have to bring the commitment. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They will feel inspired for a day, maybe a week, and then drift back to old patterns. Do not be most people. Be the person who takes action. Be the person who builds the plan. Be the person who shows up every single week. Be the person who keeps their word to themselves. 12 weeks from now, you can be in a completely different place. You can have lost the weight. You can have launched the business. You can have built the relationship. You can have written the book. Or you can be in the exact same place, wishing you had started today. The choice is yours, and the choice is now. If this video gave you value, if you are serious about transformation, then follow Millionaire Playbook, because we don't just teach theory here. We teach implementation. We teach execution. We teach the systems that actually change lives. Hit that follow button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and most importantly, go build your 12-week plan today. Thank you for watching. Now go execute.